Now, if you are just joining us, first of all, you're late, but thank you for tuning in. Now, second of all, our friends at the Department of Public Works, Office of Highway Safety, and the Guam Police and other law enforcement agencies are working together on the Pledge to Not Text and Drive campaign. And once again, our DPW's Pat Unkanko, she's the program coordinator, and from GPD, Officer R.J. Cardenas. Now, we're continuing our discussion about kids and parents, as you said, Pat and Officer Cardenas, texting and using phones. Now, what, from your observation and your experience, are the biggest excuses that they use, if you guys, cite them for that?
The biggest excuses we get is my Bluetooth died, or officer, I'm at a stoplight, I can't use my phone or text. And the other one we had the other day was I'm on the speakerphone. He's on the speakerphone, but he's holding it in one hand and the steering wheel on the other, which is a no-no. So it has to be a hands-free device.
Okay. And obviously, it's beyond both of you, to actually say, from a retailing standpoint, here are products you should use. But do you guys have any kind of recommendations as far as, gadgets or attachments or accessories for cars, like center console mounts or stuff like that that people can buy if they want to actually put their phones up? I've seen a few, but I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, there's a lot out in the market, Jason, right now. But, the best thing for you to do is really prevent from using, unless your phone, unless your device actually has a Bluetooth in your car, from the manufacturer. That's the best way to go, because you're not picking up the phone or anything like that, or you just answer the phone. But however, there are Bluetooth out there, and and the carriers themselves also have actually provided when their bills go out, their customers' bills go out, they provide that sort of also outreach to them about that they need to not text and drive, and there are other products out there that would help them.
And a free plug free plug for our friends in both the automotive and the telecom industry. I know when that law actually took effect, there were a lot of sales on Bluetooth earpieces, and a lot of the modern cars that come out these days, they actually have, you can, if your device has Bluetooth, you can actually run your telephony software through your audio system.
You can, and I have a Bluetooth in my car, and it works really great. But I try not to use the phone a lot in my car either. I'm an advocate, so I try not to do that.
Okay.
But like I said, people can still get away with that texting and driving, and using their phones at the same time.
Now, Officer Cardenas, back to you for the next question. We talked, of course, about the excuses that are given. And you guys at GPD, you guys are true professionals, and you guys tell people, it's like, okay, well, just don't do it again, and give these kids a stern warning. At what point do you really start to enforce and really let these kids know of the dangers, especially when you go out and speak to schools? It's like, hey, some really bad stuff can happen to you if you're looking down at your phone when you're in a moving car.
Yeah, we just try to educate them as to what can happen if they take their eyes off the road just momentarily, 1 or 2 seconds. A serious crash can occur, whether it be at the parking lot in school or the grocery store, or just wherever they go. Just put that phone down. Don't text and drive.
Now, Pat, getting back to that point we were making in our earlier segment, how you said it's the parents who are actually the biggest offenders. Of course, here on Guam, where we have the strong concept of familia, so many parents are going to say, boy, when I call you, you better pick up that phone, right?
Exactly.
And is that contributing to the fact that
that is a big contributor? Our youth, I believe they, when they go to their defensive driving classes, before they get a permit, right, to drive, I believe they do concentrate on that issue. I know they know it's wrong, but like you said, it is a culture with us here too that parents want you to answer the phone right away. But you know what? That's what we're doing, Jason. This is a first for us. We're going to Simon Sanchez. We utilize them as the pilot program. So this is the first time, like I said, OHS is going out there, doing the outreach. And believe it or not, we're also showing a video that's very impactful. It has an impactful documentary on teens that actually, were involved, texting while the other person, their friend, got into a crash. And they have stories that they can tell, and we're showing that. And as well as we are doing outreach with our PowerPoint outreach, as well as GPD coming in also to help us with the Q&A, with the law and all that. And then at the end, Jason, we're going to ask them to take a pledge, to not text and drive. And like I said, it can wait. Texting can wait. And I wish we could tell that to the older group, but we want to start with the younger group also as well. And,
now, do you plan to reach out to, from both your perspective, from DPW and from GPD, do you plan to reach out to students and parents at the same time
Yes, we do.
Because I would also think that taking the pledge together would make it a stronger bond.
Yes, we will do that maybe later as we progress. We would like to filter into the school system first, start with the public, then go into the private school, as well as DODEA schools, with the high school level. And then of course we can have probably a town meeting with parents as well as students coming in. Actually, our goal is to get some organization going in the school level, an advocate group, so that they can actually be out there witnessing parents dropping their children, maybe on the phone, texting, and they can actually come out and say, hey, that's wrong. You should, they should we want to just empower them to get out there and be active citizens. They're our future leaders, okay, and we don't want to lose them to something that's preventable, right?
Okay. Now, Officer Cardenas, we'll give the last question to you. Because summing it all up, what are the penalties, and if people young and old continue to use their mobile devices while operating a motor vehicle, what kind of penalties will they face?
The first penalty for the first violation would be $100. Repeated violations would be no less than $500.
$100 though for the first time?
Yes, correct.
So you guys are not messing around. And of course it is for public safety.
Yes, it is.
All right, and possibly $500?
Yes, no less than $500.
That is a lot of money, my friends out there. So, heed the warnings of our friends here, both at DPW and GPW. Pat and Officer Cardenas, thank you so much for your time. And
thank you, Jason, for having us.
And real quick, Pat, is that video that you guys are sharing, is that available online?
It is available online, but I can produce a copy for you if you like.
Okay, because we can put that on our website so people can watch it.
And you could also do a free PSA. Maybe that would help too.
Sure.
A public service announcement.
Okay, because
we'll provide that to Joan.
And we can get the kids and parents to watch it together.
Sure, but we will. I just want to remind the public that I'm sure GPD's out there enforcing the law. But we ask is please don't text and drive, and if you are in a motor vehicle, please buckle up and don't drink and drive. And that's what I have to say to the public.
All right. Well, thank you both. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
All right, and stay tuned because we'll be back right after this.